Hello. Hello.
Oh, somebody's got background noise.
Like volume.
She's not with the swing of it. She did that last week too.
Yeah,
You got to get her back up to speed.
I'm trying.
No, she
I
does.
don't know if we'll get 50 today. We're up to 10
Okay.
I don't think we will.
Hey,
because it's a holiday week.
sell. We'll sell.
Everyone's checked out early. And I don't blame them.
I may take a ride tomorrow with my little TD down to an event.
You may take a ride with your what?
My TD, my little MG.
I thought you said TV.
Yes, I'm going to.
Wow, you could
I-
play on TV. Cool.
Gonna take a ride with my television.
Hey,
We're very attached. I don't even think there's room in that car for a TV.
Probably not.
Just drove it around the block. I was very happy.
So am I reading this right? Is 30?
We got 30.
Okay, hey, that's pretty good.
Give it another minute, and then we may just start call it an early evening.
Mm-hmm.
hi, Diane.
Hope everyone's got good plans.
Everybody be safe out there. And have a good weekend.
Yeah, I'll be post my car.
Check her Facebook page.
Yeah, Jack, it's my little red MG. If I find a quick picture, I'll show you, but you should be on my Facebook page.
Oh, we're at 40, almost at 40.
Here, Jack. There's my little baby.
Does she have a name?
I've been calling her Ruby.
Appropriate.
I didn't know what else to call her. I love that car. Why do I love this car? Because it reminds me of Betty Buckley's character. She played Abby on 8 is Enough in the 80s, and she drove one in Hunter Green. And I absolutely loved her character in that TV show back in the early 80s. So when I saw it, I just had to have it. I almost bought one in green, but it had no floor pan. So, you know, I got the red one, which is fine because it just zips around town. And
So yes, Ellen, we are so happy too that the folks in the far reaches of the Bronx, as we used to call it, Co-op City and Queens, Whitestone, have been posting the flyers. Yes, those areas are not easy to reach, and kudos to those people that are out there reaching those areas. Yes,
Yes, it's a tremendous help.
yes, it is.
well, I show 51.
There you go, sell.
Well, everyone, it is Friday night. It is just after 8:30, and our typical Friday evening, we just join you to do an open Q&A. There's really nothing to update. Remember, our case doesn't really pick up until fall. So our only goals for the summer is to just continue to fundraise so that we can handle all of our legal fees that we will be coming up to when these other case parts of our case do start. And try to outreach. You know, we're in a holiday weekend this weekend. Memorial Day is Monday, so the page has been a little slow, but we still wanted to touch base with you on Friday night, but just before we close the page for the holiday. Hey, we're going to close the page till Tuesday, correct? So we won't open
Yes.
Monday, we'll open on Tuesday. So don't worry if you see the page still closed Monday. Everyone deserves a good holiday weekend, and so we'll see you guys on Tuesday morning. Also, since we're chit-chatting, Friday nights are meant for you. It's a precursor to close the page to give the moderators a break, but it's also an open Q&A to help you answer your questions that you might have that no one's answering for you, or for us to help guide you to where you should be going to get the help that you need. There was a retired police officer, I think going by the screen name Old Timer, who made a post on a rant board that our Friday night Zooms are all over the place. So I want to say, hey, Mr. Old Timer, if you're listening to our YouTube, because this will be posted to YouTube tonight, I want you to know that these are not all over the place, that these are an open Q&A, and it is meant for all the people on this page, over 16,000 people on our Facebook page. I don't know if you're on our page or you just follow our YouTube channel. Either way, these are done for a purpose, and it's because a lot of these retirees that are in our Facebook page do not get their questions answered either by their former union or by labor relations. And obviously, if you are a retiree, you're a retired police officer, you are aware that OLR doesn't always answer the phone. It may take forever to answer an email. You may ask them 3 questions in an email and only get 1 answer back. So we do an open Q&A every Friday, especially for those people who just follow us on YouTube and not on Facebook. We do an open Q&A in our Facebook page every Friday night, and we answer questions that people may have. So if you're on the outside of Facebook, it may look like this is all over the place, but it's really not. It serves a purpose, and it helps everyone that's on our Facebook page be able to get the help that they need.
Right. And also because and again, if we do have something to bring across, we do it right in the beginning. So if we have something to say, or we have news or an update or a ticker, or Magic 8 Ball has something to say, or we hear something, or Magic 8 Ball hears something, we do present it in the beginning, and we get everything out that we need to say. And then, like Marianne says, then we open up the floor to ask questions, but everything is done in the beginning, and then the Q&A and the floor opens up. So yeah, if those who are watching it after that say, oh, it's all over. Yeah, well, because people are coming in late to the, Facebook page or the live, and they're like, oh, and then they don't realize either that question was answered. And so, we're not just gonna not answer it. We, sometimes we repeat, and we just move on from there. So.
And so the YouTube followers don't see that, but here in our homes, Madeline's home, Michelle's home, and my home, we're not only just talking on here, we're also watching us talk on our cell phones, and you'll see, or our iPad. And then you'll see at the bottom, all of this down here is people asking questions. And that's how we know what people are asking, and we're answering them here. So sometimes we probably need to get more into a habit of, and we usually do, like, read out the name and read out the question. That way people can follow along, especially because right after this, we close the page down and people can't comment after that until we open it back up on Monday or Tuesday for the holiday. And so that way, if we don't get to answer the question in writing, at least they have it verbally, and then they can always go back and watch it. So by you not being on our Facebook page, you don't see that part, but we're seeing it because it's here, and we can tell you all of the questions that people are asking. So so don't think we're all over the place. We actually have this under control, and it runs pretty smoothly, that people look forward to seeing us on a Friday catching up, because they really haven't seen or heard from us for a week, and it's kind of just good to touch base, so we feel at this point we've been together about a year now, and we're probably all family. Right, sister?
Yeah, Kev, another old timer that has nothing to do but be grumpy and complaining.
It's all right. And that's what we're here to educate, Mr.
Right.
Old Timer.
Right. So that's how it seems. But again, what you're seeing, what we're seeing, 3 different things. And yes, Ellen, we'll give a shout out to Iris. Oh, where to go? et cetera, and everybody else about posting on the city websites with Twitter and whoever tweets and whatever that's called. I don't Twitter.
So I am on Twitter. You're welcome to follow me on Twitter. You'll see me putting up posts and commentary and tagging like the UFT and Henry Garrido and Michael Mulgrew and City Labor Relations. And I'm even on LinkedIn. You're welcome to follow me there because I do the same thing there because I've got a huge following on both of those to help spread the word for this. So you're welcome to take my posts and retweet them on LinkedIn or Twitter. Just find me there. I thought there was a bill in front of the state. Would that bill, if passed, stop the city from using? So Erwin, there's several bills in New York, so I'm not quite sure which bill you're talking about. If you're talking about the NICET email, that came out, if you would confirm that in your question, in the commentary before I go on, because I could talk forever about that thing. But please clarify what you mean. There is really nothing that would stop the Advantage Plan. If you're talking about the New York State single payer bill that's in the Assembly and the Senate right now, that would actually probably put every single Medicare eligible retiree into a Medicare Advantage plan, and it shows up 3 times in the Assembly bill alone. So that New York single payer bill cannot be supported by us.
Okay, I'm going to jump in.
Go ahead, jump away.
So, last week, we chose a person for a giveaway. That person has graciously denied the giveaway and said, I just want my health care. I was also asked not to announce the person's name, so I won't do that. So that will go back in into the kitty. We have picked a name for this week's giveaway. The initials are EG, and once I make contact with this person and get permission to announce, I will do so.
Very good.
Yay.
Thanks, Jack. Jack says it's amazing. If not for you guys, we all would be in a MAP plan, and had the nerve to make it April 1st, tell you what they thought of us old retirees.
Not only that, we would be paying $191.57 a month if we chose to stay with senior care.
Absolutely.
Gerald asked, how's been New York State and New York City politicians' support? Is it increasing, and do they tend to support us?
Half and half. I'm gonna stay still. People still don't understand this, and I'm gonna explain why. There's not many people that understand the differences in healthcare when it comes to your traditional healthcare or healthcare for under age 65 and healthcare over 65. There's many people that don't understand the differences in Medicare, what Medicare provides, and some of the changes in where that funding comes from. There's still confusion, even in Albany. I was having these phone calls today after speaking with Madeline and Michelle this morning during breakfast, is that there's still people that don't understand the differences between Medicare, Medicare Advantage, and that our healthcare does not come out of the stabilization fund. So all of these things are still just very confusing to people. And you have to also understand something too, that we got a retiree spoke to us. What was that, 2 weeks ago? That gentleman spoke to us about the young people in his garage.
I think so. Everything runs together.
I know.
Yeah.
So he made a very good point. He said he called his old garage, and the people at the garage said, hey, we're in our 20s and 30s, and we've got like another 40 years to work. We're probably not going to be here in 40 years. Who really cares about Medicare Advantage, Medicare? We're going to probably be somewhere else. So if we have to like sell that in order to get a raise today, hell, we're going to do it. And we were like, whoa.
Yeah, they're the
They're not-
non-uniform services that don't have the 20 or 25 years to retirement, or even the 55-year-old retirement.
Yeah, they are not thinking that they should be protecting their futures. But you also have to remember, when we were their age, we didn't really think about that either. So this is the struggle, is trying to teach young people why they shouldn't be giving away something that was negotiated by those that served before them as a give back, because their giving that back today is affecting us today, but it is affecting future people in their titles tomorrow. But unfortunately, these people are not thinking about their future or the future of those in their titles that come later. They're thinking about themselves today. But I will tell you what is very interesting. So the unions decided to come out against the single payer plan, and many of the unions, including the MLC, the UFT, DC 37, wrote opposition memos for the New York State single payer program. But what was the issue that they had with it? Well, there were three, but the most important one would be that they were concerned that that for all of the years that they had to give up give backs or accept reduced wages to keep their health benefits, if they went into the single payer program in New York State, who would give them back or supplement them for everything that they gave up over the decades? Isn't that our argument? Hello, we negotiated during our tenure to have all of these things that you are giving away. They don't even see the connection. And they're not even recognizing that they're trying to jam this Medicare Advantage plan down our retirees' throats today, but it's also in this New York State single payer plan. So you're against that plan, the state plan, but you're okay with doing it locally. Like, none of this makes any sense. So when I keep saying that, I don't think that the unions are doing this maliciously. I just think most of them are ignorant. They don't even know what they're doing. Point blank, bluntly, sorry. There's no other way to say that, right?
No.
Michelle Krumper-Steinberg, I keep hearing rumors that since Judge Frank's ruling said, as long as that there are multiple plans, that the city may eliminate all plans except MAP. Can that really happen? So, Michelle, this keeps coming up. We really don't know what the city can do. We know that there is a rule that if the city files for the waiver plan like they did, that they want to force or automatically enroll everyone into a Medicare Advantage plan. There has to be an opt-out plan, which means they have to leave something else on the table. We just don't know what that is. And probably when we come back from holiday, we keep saying that we're going to do another, we need to have we're working on having a meeting, a strategy meeting with another group of you guys retirees in helping us getting this outreach out to city council, because the unions are trying to work with the city in potentially, there's an option on the table in killing 12-126. This is the law, the administrative code in which we won our case on. What is 12-126? It sets the benchmark for the HIP HMO rate, where all the insurance plans, the city has to pay all the insurance plans that are up to that cap. So if they manipulate that cap, they get rid of the cap, they get rid of HIP HMO, they also get rid of Medicare B reimbursement. These are all things that are actually on a list of things that they're trying to get rid of. I can't tell you what's going to happen. I mean, sometimes Michelle's 8 Ball will tell us, hypothetically a good possible solution, but I can't tell you, Michelle, what's going to happen, because these unions are so desperate to fund themselves. Clearly, you just witnessed them in the last year of them willing to sell us out. I don't know what they'll do, and I don't know what the union will agree to.
Terry Katz J, the bills that are before the New York State Legislature, would that impact New York State retirees as well?
You got to give me a bill. Give me a
Hmm?
bill number.
If so, is it worth it to reach out to them as well?
So this is the second question about New York State bills. So please do me a favor, do us all a favor. If you're going to ask us a bill, please quote a Senate and Assembly bill. It's an A number is the Assembly and an S number is the Senate number. Please quote me in the thing to ask Mary Ann Michelle Madeline, A number, blah, 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 S, blah, blah, blah. And then we will look at it and we will answer it to you.
No, Mary Ann will answer it because I don't know what the numbers are. I don't do those kind of numbers. I do the other
Okay,
kind of
I'll write
numbers.
it up and you'll edit it.
John Vento, is the city going to eliminate Aetna Advantage? Let's check the magic 8 ball.
Again, magic 8 ball, don't make my magic 8 ball tired. Last week, it wouldn't even answer me. See, just like, so look, when you're aggravating my magic 8 ball. Says you may rely. That's all it says.
Well, you got an answer?
My reply is no. That's what it says.
Well, John, let's hope
Yeah.
that the magic 8 ball is right.
Magic 8 ball is right.
Hysterical.
No, John Paul, I'm sorry,
Bassinet.
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 How much would you say we should have to worry about MAP being forced down our throats? That's a good question. Does the 8 ball do percentages?
No, it does not. It doesn't do math. Okay.
Well, I'm going to tell you, it's still on the table because as of a meeting that we were in a couple weeks ago, the MLC is still trying to get it up and running for January. So hopefully that answers your question.
No, Kevin, it's mine.
Oh, good heavens.
Ay, ay, ay.
I know. Did we miss any questions? And no one's put, well, we've got like maybe what, 6 minutes. So if you guys that are asking us questions about legislation, if you would pick up the bill numbers and post them in the next 6 minutes, we'll answer them.
It sounds
Otherwise,
like,
you're gonna have to email.
it sounds like Michelle may have had a bad experience with her own magic 8
I
ball.
was gonna say.
Yeah.
She probably threw it against the wall. The white pillow is back. This is one of my babies. The other one is right over there.
Can't see her.
She blends in with my blankie.
Yeah. No, Michelle said, yep.
She threw it against the wall.
All right, here we go.
Ann Rumo, I keep inviting New York City employees to the group. Hope they send money for the legal fees. It's hard to know. And, you know, we don't know, while we may have the names of who's sending in contributions, we can't connect them to whether they're, unless they send a note that says I'm active, I'm retired. It's hard to know. But keep it up. I hope they're listening.
Ellen Reiser, is it possible we could bring an action under the New York State Open Meetings Law regarding getting docs from the MLC? This would be on the basis that the MLC is actually a governmental agency. I do not believe it is, to be honest with you. It does not consider it to be a governmental agency. This might be helpful in terms of giving us access to docs and decision-making with OLR. So I would say you'd get a better chance of getting some of that out of OLR via FOIA, but I do not believe MLC was created through OCB, and I do not believe they would be considered a governmental agency. Thank you, Kevin. My dogs are pretty and they're pretty hairy.
Cheryl Nelson is asking, can New York City retirees attempt to get our health care through New York State if we are forced to take MA? Do you mean the marketplace? Or, yeah, I'm not too clear on what you mean, Cheryl.
Where through New York State are you seeing that you can purchase an MA plan? And also know that the city rule right now is if you forego your New York City health insurance plan and you purchase it on the marketplace outside of New York City, you lose your ability to for Medicare B reimbursement. Okay, so we got one bill sent to us, introduced by Sanders, read twice, ordered once, ordered printed. Okay, I'm familiar with this bill. I am going to tell you I have a problem with this bill as well. If you look at lines 24, 25, says nothing contained in this act shall supersede or diminish the terms of a collective bargaining agreement. And so we have several times have asked the legislative people that their legislative aides for the offices that sponsored these bills. I'm not sure the status of this bill. I'm not sure if it's still active. However, what we need more clarification, and we're getting mixed messages. If it isn't a collective bargaining agreement that health insurance can be diminished for a retiree, a current retiree who has no collective bargaining rights, that's a problem. So I'm going to add this back to my to-do list for next week. But yes, I'm very familiar with this. These bills are not the first time these bills were out. Every time they come up, they get voted down.
Gerald is clarifying, he means insurance that state retirees receive. So if the city tries to force the MAP on its retirees, he's asking whether the city retirees can get insurance through the state retiree system. I'm going to say no.
If we're a city employee, we can't get our health insurance through the state of New York. It's not open to us.
Nope.
And you'd also lose your Medicare B reimbursement if you got it outside of New York City.
So somebody knows Bob Holden, councilman for our area in Queens. If you need his help, let me know. I have his and his staff's here.
Yes, Kevin, we need help. So ping us privately. You should have my cell phone number. We can chat this weekend.
I have friends that are Long Island and New Jersey retirees, and they also get their Medicare and IRMA reimbursed. So why can't we if we joined a different plan? I'm having difficulty understanding that. Are these retirees, Long Island and New Jersey retirees, are they retired from New York City employment? Because that would be the key. They would have to, well, they don't have to be.
Evan, you're out of your mind.
That's nice, Kevin.
Like a Van Gogh.
Don't get anybody's hopes up, okay? Retired from Long Island or no school districts. And who are they getting reimbursements from? Michelle? Not you, Michelle.
Oh, I know.
Michelle, if they are retired if they live on Long Island or in New Jersey and they are part of outside of New York City's, if they do not get their benefits from the Office of Labor Relations in New York City, this is a moot question. It doesn't pertain to us.
Mm-hmm.
New Jersey, their school district.
Yeah.
Nope, doesn't pertain to us, sorry.
Yeah.
There are many jurisdictions that have similar benefits. Remember, ours came because the city followed what the state implemented back in 1960s. I mean, the city was a little behind, but the city came up with these, state came up with these ideas, and then the city usually followed suit. but other jurisdictions have similar benefits. And it's 9:02 and I got nothing else.
All right.
Perfect. Everyone enjoy the weekends.
Again, big shout out to Lynn Basile and Mabel with a beard. I know he's a little occupied this week, but again, shout out to our moderators. Great job on the
Yeah.
board. You
And
know,
Liz and Iris, and there are a lot of people. The list is growing and it's really very difficult to keep track. So don't feel slighted if we don't specifically mention you. And there's a lot of people that do things on the QT. So
again,
everything and anything that's done is very much.
right, and we, again, if, you know, we, like Madeline said, if we don't mention your name, but again, you know, we're glad people are starting to step up. We know the weather is getting warmer and we know more and more people will be out and about. Print up some flyers, put them in your bags, your purses, whatever, and post.
First.
Yeah, your MERS.
Oh, man purse, I get it.
Yes. Oh,
Yes,
you got it? You got it? You
What is she talking about?
Oh, a MERS. You're from Seinfeld. You're MERS.
So that's the scoop, everyone. Thank you for all that you do. Thank you for continuing to fund this organization and support what we're doing and helping fight for you. Keep posting those posters, those flyers from our page everywhere you go. If there's anything else we can help you with, you know how to find us. Otherwise, we will reopen this page on Tuesday morning.
Yes.
Everyone have a very safe Memorial Day. Enjoy your friends and family because it's good to be together. That's really
Yes.
the best time to be together.
And
And
Joe, our web guy. Can't forget Joe. Shout out to Joe.
Oh, my God, yes.
I know.
And let's please keep the patriots that we've lost
Yes.
in our prayers and their families. That's
right,
what this holiday weekend is about.
Out.
So,
Yeah, memorializing.
yeah.
So, yes, Sharon, you are our family too. It's always good when you're able to choose your family.
Again, thank you, everybody.
All right, so I'm going to say good night, Michelle.
Good night.
Good night, Jim Bob.
Yeah,
Good
good
night,
night.
Madeline.
It is
Good
our
night,
Jim
guys.
Bob's around.
Night.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, everyone. See you on Tuesday. Love you. Bye.